Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Welcome to the Early Edge. We are brought to you by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. Got a great show, a great lineup for you today. Let's see how we did yesterday. A little bit of misfortune, particularly with the Bregman play, which we take as a loss. Braves run line doesn't come through. We go 2-4. One of the two SportsLine plays comes in, and Jesus Luzardo at even money under 17.5 outs, courtesy of Prop Stars. That one comes in as well. We go 2-4, and that's not very good. It's been a good month, by the way, but we're going to slip up here and there for sure. But let's try to bounce back on a Thursday with Jason Pogwist and Wayne Moak and CLE Fan and Gipper's Picks and Big Cheesy, who hit a play from the chat. Let's do it with the stars of the show as well. We've got Mackenzie Brooks. We've got Buckets, which it appears to be a top button fastened. We've got Matt Snyder. We got Calvin Wetzel with his shirt game. Buckets, I got to start with you. Are you okay?
No, Sia. Are any of us okay ever? I don't know how you do this every day, man. Like, I thought I'd be fun and quirky. This hurts. But it's Thursday. We're glad to be here. I have a request from the chat, guys. Everybody, tomorrow morning, Miss Freya has a surgery. So if you could keep her in your thoughts and prayers, that would mean a lot to me. And let's win some tickets because we all know those vet bills are not going to be fun.
Wow. Yes, they're not going to be fun. Let's give some love in the chat for Freya. So, Buckets, to answer your question, this actually is comfortable for me because in my lawyer days where I practiced for 13 years, I would have like the suit and tie thing, and the tie would be pushed up like, a good knot, and it would be pushed up. So it actually was more obstructive than what I'm wearing now. So this is like that we're like at a 5 out of 10 with this button up.
I don't even know if I own a tie. I'd have to go check.
Yeah, probably.
I was just about to say Buckets would probably feel like if he wore a tie, he's used to feeling like a little metal thingy right there, right? Because he only has clip-ons.
Yeah, say no shot Buckets knows how to tie a tie, respectfully.
Oh, yes, respectfully indeed. That's like no offense, but Snyper, we've got a 5-game MLB slate. Is there a lot of stuff that he's going to
finally
get
all these years? That's all it took to get rid of him.
Do we have MLB plays today? I know it's a light slate.
We do. I've got a couple. You want me to go right now?
No. Let's wait for Buckets to get back. Calvin, how we feeling? Are we going to WNBA today? And how you feeling about your shirt today?
Oh, we are. I'm feeling great. I was thinking maybe I should button the top button too, just to fit in on the show. But then Buckets started complaining about how much it hurts. So I might just leave that to you guys.
Mackenzie, no top button for you, but there is a hat. Go ahead and comment on that. I don't know what the hat represents, though.
Not in my Sunday's best today. I am repping my brother's high school, Germantown Academy, if we have any Philly people here. I have a question for you guys because I'm sitting on the couch with my dad last night watching the Phillies. And I don't know if this is a generational thing for him, a Philly thing in general, or maybe my dad's just being a psychopath. He will record like the extra innings and refuses to look at his phone, and he wants to watch every single thing live on his own. Like we were watching a show together and he's like, no worries, I'll just record the extra innings and we'll watch it after. Like he has no desire to look at his phone and just keep track of the game. He has to watch it all play out. And he does the same thing with Eagles games. If we had like basketball games on Sundays when we were younger, he'd record the entire game, go completely ISO mode, not listen to the radio until he could sit down and watch it himself. Is that like a him thing? Or is this like, Snyder, help me out here?
I would totally do that. I mean, sometimes your phone is ahead of the game too. So I won't look until it's like a commercial break because I don't want any spoilers. I want to just watch it and experience it live. And like there will be times if we had, for example, when the Bears played the Jags in London last year, my son had something in the morning. So my dad and I recorded the Bears game and we made sure to not look at our phones for like 2 hours. And we couldn't look at anything else. We couldn't check our fantasy scores. And we came back and we just watched until we got live. And then once we got live, we're like, okay, now we can check our fantasy scores.
The NFL part is way more impressive because you literally have to go like completely tunnel vision.
Well, and there were TVs at the place that we were. So we were like, don't look at the TV. Don't look at the TV. You can't listen to anybody. We made it.
I love sports.
Rob Johnson, former quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, says that's a generational thing. But I got to say, everybody is saying that's pretty normal, especially when it pertains to your team, the team that you really root for. I think it's more normal than if it's just like in general, he's doing that. And by the way, what's your dad's name?
Steve,
totally normal. Don't worry about
it.
I just feel like in the middle of July, in the middle of the MLB season, in a random.
I would totally do that if I was behind. Like, and there's actually a lot of Cubs games where my dad, my brother, and I text about the Cubs a lot, and it'll be like 3 innings and my brother hasn't said anything. And then he'll come back. His daughter's 4 right now. and he'll be like, okay, I was just putting Chloe to bed and then catching up, but I'm caught up now. And he pauses it, and then he watches everything live, and then he gets caught up.
All right.
Siraj Sukumar says, and thank you for joining us, Siraj. He says, Sniper was just nodding his head viciously, aka vigorously. So yeah, he's on board.
You can go with viciously too.
Yeah, if you agree with Steve, go ahead and put "I'm with Steve" in the chat. I think that's appropriate, so we can get a little bit of a head count here. All right, we got to actually get to some picks. By the way, Buckets, before we get to your soccer picks, did you just escape to look for a tie?
It's humbling. I am a almost 31-year-old man who does not own a single tie. I thought I did. I was going to do this fun bit where I try to tie it on air. I don't have one. I don't know.
It's okay. It's like that's actually a good thing that you don't own a tie. That's how I see it. I left that world for a reason, Bucket. So but
you still own a tie, correct?
Many ties. And I've actually tied my tie on
do you own
air
a tie?
as well.
I do own a tie. I haven't worn one in quite a while, but I do own one.
Kenz, do you have a tie?
No.
Yes. Kenz is on my team.
I'm going to wear a tie on tomorrow's BPE show, and I'm going to tie it in the middle of the show. All right, let's get to some picks. We've got a lot of picks today, so we got a lot to get through. Bucket, start us off with 3 soccer picks.
Yeah, let's do it, Sia. Welcome to another episode of Will Sia pronounce it on the recap screen, or will he make me do it like he does every time? We've got 3 good games for everyone. Horrible title for a game show. We're going to start with Banik Ostrava taking on Legia Warsaw, and we're taking Legia on the draw, no bet. When we start to get to the second and third rounds of these UEFA competitions, something comes into effect called European pedigree. Teams like Legia Warsaw have been here before. They know what it's like to play in these European competitions. They know what it's like to have to travel and then still show up. Banik Ostrava is a good team in the Czech Republic, but a good team in the Czech Republic doesn't do a lot when you start playing these bigger, better nations like Poland has in the football world here. So we're going with Legia, draw no bet at plus 100. For our second bet, we're going with Aris Limassol taking on Puskás Akadémia Felskut, and we're taking Aris over 1.5 team total. So we have Cyprus versus Hungary in this one, and the best teams in Cyprus are shockingly good. Aris Limassol has more than enough talent, especially when playing at home in the first leg, to take care of a Puskás team that is really good in Hungary, but again, not really good on the European stage here. I expect Aris to win this game and score 2 goals at least, but I wouldn't be shocked if they end up putting in 3 or 4 in this fixture. For our final bet, we've got Cherno More Varna taking on Istanbul Başakşehir, and we're going with at least both teams to score, again, at plus 110. Good odds here. Cherno More have played 6 games at home in the last 2 weeks, and they have scored in all 6 of those fixtures. Istanbul Başakşehir has spent a ton of money in the Turkish offseason, but they've done it all on their offense. Expect Istanbul to win, but Cherno, if they're going to get a goal, it's going to happen in the home leg, so I got to take that at plus 110.
All right. Prep yourself for the recap screen, Buckets. Good stuff. We're loving the picks, and I think people are anticipating me actually tying a tie on the show tomorrow. So look forward to that. Go ahead, Buckets.
I will go to Goodwill and buy a tie and try it with you on the show tomorrow.
That would
Try
be
to tie it?
Yeah, I'll try to tie it live.
We don't have time for that, Buckets. I'll tell you that right now.
Rabbit
sure
goes
that'll be
around
a
the tree.
That would have been a good MLB All-Star, WNBA All-Star break activity. But
That's a good call. That's a good call. Well, there's always antics on the Friday show, so I'm very much looking forward to that either way. You did mention WNBA, Mackenzie. You and Calvin are here with WNBA picks. Start us off.
Yeah, we're going to go with a simple play here. I'm not usually big on going to the bigger names in the league. Typically, their lines are inflated, but A'ja Wilson seems to be in a really good spot today. Her line's sitting at 23.5 just for her points here. This is a number she's gone over in 3 of her 4 last games. The one game she went under, she played 12 minutes here. Obviously, that was an all-star game. So when it comes to actual legit games and playing enough minutes, which she should against the Fever today, the spread's only 2.5. So I do think she will be playing for full 4 quarters here. She's been carrying this team on her back. They go into the All-Star break with 3 wins here. They're looking good. She's looking better. And whether it's a win, it's probably because she's going over this number, or if it's a loss, she's still going to be fighting to the end for this. And this is a number she's gone over both times she's played the Fever this season. So just asking A'ja to do what she's been doing as of recent.
All right. A'ja Wilson over 23.5 points at minus 114. Calvin, I know you've got a WNBA pick for us as well. We got to get to some baseball, maybe some home run plays, but I do want to tell everybody BetMGM account holders will receive a no sweat token to apply to any bet on any sport. That means if you lose your bet, you'll get a bonus bet back only at BetMGM. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot more picks to get to, including our SportsLine pick. Bruce Marshall hit the Texas Rangers with a close one. They won 2-1 yesterday. And we're going to go right back to Bruce Marshall with his pick. And it's going to be the Astros money line at -123. Again, Astros money line is the SportsLine pick. But ladies and gentlemen, a lot more picks and maybe some of your questions to get to right after this message from our partners.
We need your sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
We're back on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. Sniper, I want to get to you. Then we're going to get to my golf picks for this afternoon. Calvin, we got to get to your WNBA pick. I got to point out, though, Jeff Stenberg, noted Yankees hater. He's a big fan of Michael Thorbjornsen, who I have as one of my outrights this week. On the second hole, triple bogey for Thorbjornsen. And Jeff Stenberg is blaming me because apparently I'm the jinx on Thorpe, which actually might be true. So I apologize for the triple bogey. Let's see if he battles back. Certainly not a great start for one of my outrights. All right, let's get to baseball. Sniper, you got 2 picks for us.
Yeah, well, I wanted to start by saying happy Sid Luckman days away from the NFL. 42. Who would have ever thought that a quarterback was 42? Anyway, I will go with the Tigers money line. I'm sure this seems crazy right now because they look awful. They've lost 9 out of 10. They just got swept by the Pirates, who before that series got swept by the White Sox. Now it scored 27-7. So what am I doing here? Well, the Tigers are going home, and they're 32-18 at home. I feel like this is too good of a team to keep losing in the fashion that they're losing. And since they have lost 9 out of 10, they're returning home. Remember, this was road games, then the All-Star break, then road games. Now they're coming home. It was home games, but then it was the All-Star break, and then it was road games. And they're facing the Blue Jays, who are really, really hot, but the Blue Jays are amazing at home. This is in Detroit. The Blue Jays are actually 23-25 on the road. So we're looking for a little bit of evening out. We're looking for the Tigers being better at home, the Blue Jays being bad on the road here, plus Reese Olson on the hill for the Tigers. He's been excellent at home this season. Meanwhile, Eric Lauer on the mound for the Blue Jays. The Tigers hit left-handed pitching better. The Tigers hit better at home. I think they're going to be happy to be home. So we're going to go with the Tigers on this money line here. Also, now we're going to go out west. Yusei Kikuchi on the mound for the Angels. He has been amazing at home this season. 1.98 ERA at home. The Mariners have actually never seen them. Remember, he came to America via the Mariners. He was bad for a little bit. He left. He got good. The Mariners have still never seen him. They haven't seen him with this kind of stuff, certainly. The Mariners have a high strikeout rate. So I'm going to go over 6.5 strikeouts on this. I know it's a big number, but we get plus money on it. Going to go over on that. Also, only 5 games, slim pickings, but for a home run pick, I'm going to throw out Nick Kurtz of the A's. They're in Houston. Not a difficult pitching matchup. Kurtz has 18 home runs in his last 41 games. He's rocketing up that Rookie of the Year odds board there. So I'm going to go with Kurtz. And I just wanted to point out, last time I was on the show Monday, my home run pick, Byron Buxton, led off the game with a home run.
That's pretty impressive. Speaking of home runs, Mackenzie, I do believe we have the SportsLine MLB home run plays for Thursday. We've got Soderstrom, we've got Fernando Tatis, and Jose Altuve. It looks like really a good amount of value on all of them. Plus 350 versus plus 475. Then we've got Tatis plus 412 versus plus 525. And then Altuve plus 550 versus plus 675. Mackenzie, any commentary on any of these three? And then Sniper, I'll go to you.
It looks like Tatis is in a wildly buy low spot. He's also never faced any great in his career. So I think it's obviously that's why it's such long shot value here. He hasn't homered in his last 10 games and has just 1 homer in the last 24. But there is plenty of power and plenty of potential from what it's looking like with him. And we'd set it around plus 400. I'd also like to say we're up 50 units on home runs this season. I think we're hitting home run bets more often than we're not every day.
That's really, really impressive. Sniper, any follow-up to these names or anyone else for that matter?
Yeah, I think we can load up on that game in Houston there with the A's at Astros because you see Soderstrom on the A side. I just mentioned Nick Kurtz. on Jose Altuve on the Astros side with that short left field porch against Luis Severino, who's been terrible this year. Now, Severino's numbers on the road are much, much better than at home, but he's still ripe for the picking. And I also wanted to point out, if you're going to go on the A's side, they are facing an Astros pitcher named, and this is true, Jason Alexander.
Oh, amazing.
It is not George Costanza, but it is Jason Alexander.
That's what Jake wrote in the notes. He said, Soderstrom did face Jason Alexander, the pitcher, not George Costanza, a month ago.
Buckets, do we know who George Costanza is? And are you okay with that top button? Because you can tap out if you need to. Oh, he's on mute. Like, this top button thing has really got him.
Dude, my whole day's just gone to hell.
day.
Yeah, this is terrible. I know who George Costanza is, but while you were talking, I was Googling where to buy suits, and it seems like it's a very opinionated matter. There's not just one easy answer that I was hoping for.
Boy.
So I'm just all kinds of stressed right now.
A bunch of like
And-
message boards. And
That's what I'm on, the Columbus Reddit. And you didn't ask me for my home run pick, so I'm just not really feeling it today, you know?
You have a home run pick?
I do. I thought that Tatis was in a great buy low spot, even though he hasn't homered in his last 10 and only one in his last 24.
So real, Buckets.
Such a good take. Let's go to another good take. Calvin, talk to me about your WNBA play.
I don't know how to follow that up, but we are going with the Sky team total under. I went 1-1 on Tuesday, and this is the one I cashed. So we're running it back for a lot of the same reasons. It's a 73.5 at MGM, minus 102. So we're getting a couple points higher than we did on Tuesday because they're not facing the Lynx now. They're facing the Storm, who aren't the number one team in terms of defense, but they're still a defensive team and on the slower side of things. So this still is a good matchup for unders. Ariel Atkins is still out, the Sky leading scorer. And now Angel Reese is questionable tonight. Even if she plays, I would have this at like 72.5. So the fact that we're getting 73.5 at almost even money, I think is going to be good value either way. If Angel Reese sits, this should easily be in the 60s. That one game about a week ago where both of them missed, Atkins and Reese, the Sky managed a grand total of 49 points in that game. These two are basically their entire offense. Atkins is the perimeter, Angel on the inside. If you take both of them away, they have absolutely no way to score. So you're basically getting 50-50 that you're going to get about a point of value, or 50-50 that you're going to get a ton of value on this. Either way, I think I would want to hit it now before the injury report comes out and we see whether Angel's playing, because if she's out, it's going to drop a lot. So I love the team total under again on the Sky, under 73.5, minus 102.
Sky under 73.5. I love just the proposition there and the potential gamble, getting value either way, but certainly getting value if she's ultimately declared out or just, doesn't play a ton of minutes. So absolutely love that. Let's get to my golf plays and then we'll check to see if there's any questions or comments from you all from the chat. But 3M Open. I've got a head-to-head going right now. It's Davis Thompson against Sung J M. They're very early in their rounds. I'm going to go, we're going to pay a little juice here. Sam Burns in a head-to-head matchup. This one over at DK. My next pick you can find anywhere, including, I think, maybe the best price over at BetMGM or FanDuel. I can't remember, but it's at both places. Sam Burns minus 130 over Wyndham Clark is one of my two plays. This is the head-to-head matchup over on DK. This is just a case of me liking Sam Burns really for the last 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 tournaments. I think he can win this tournament. There's a reason why he's the favorite. Wyndham Clark, you never really know what you're going to get from him. And I think if he's wayward off the tee, he could find some trouble on this course that has a lot of water on it. So Wyndham Clark has popped a little bit lately, but I don't think he's the caliber right now of Sam Burns. So I'm willing to pay this round one price. Again, this is a round one matchup. Sam Burns minus 130 over Wyndham Clark. The next one, maybe not a full unit play here. This is a plus 163 ball. Doug Gim was a late ad for me as a first round leader. We'll see how that goes. But the bottom line is I think Doug Gim is really good here because he's such a good ball striker. And while the putter is usually a real big problem for Doug Gim, he's been really good here with the putter, more often than not, I should say. Sometimes he does lose with the putter here in a significant way as well, but he's consistently top 30, top 40 in this tournament. He's very clearly comfortable here. The actual course setup really suits him. So I like him over McGreevy and Ryder, who both popped a little bit at the Barracuda last week, but overall their form not very good. I think this one is going to be close. This is not a runaway. This is not a full unit play. There's a reason that he's a plus 160 favorite. And I do say favorite because the numbers for McGreevy and Ryder are longer. But I do like Doug Gim in this matchup at this price, plus 160. That is a round 1 3 ball, both of them this afternoon. Let's see if we can get to some questions here. Aaron Taylor, who is in our Discord all the time, really sharp baseball capper here. Guardians money line -120 Sniper. And he's basically saying they're playing Baltimore, and it looks like Morton is on the mound here.
Yeah, I thought about that one actually. The Guardians have been really, really hot. Like they lost 10 in a row and it looked like their season was over, but they've done nothing but win pretty much since then, starting with sweeping the Astros in Houston after the Astros were, I ranked them number 1 in power rankings. So yeah, I looked at that one for sure. Charlie Morton actually was looking pretty good until last time out, and he got shelled by the Rays first time out after the All-Star break. So yes, I like the Guardian spot here. I also looked at Jose Ramirez individual hitting props as well.
All right. Ray Garcia has a question for Kenz, and I guess it's because you have the Asia Wilson play here. Aces money line.
Yeah, I was saying in the chat, not a game I'm really pressed to play a side on, because at any given moment, you'll see the Fever play inspired ball without Caitlin Clark, and you'll see the Aces just crumble under their own feet, which Calvin can back me up, is sometimes something they just do. So I guess if I were to lean aside, I would go to the Aces, but not a game I'm really pressed to play aside on.
Calvin, speaking of the Fever, Ninja 13 says, I don't know if this matters, but he's pointing it out. Fever debuts Stranger Things jersey tonight, and he says over 163 and Fever +2.5.
Yeah, I mean, the Stranger Things jerseys have to be worth, 4 points to the spread,
least,
maybe 5.
totally.
So
yeah.
I do like the Fever tonight, though. Kenz is right. Sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't without Caitlin Clark, and Ace is kind of same thing. The last time they played each other without Caitlin Clark, the Fever won by 27. So I almost think I do like the Fever side, but I almost think you could maybe take an alt. Those are some nice jerseys. I love those jerseys. We have to bet on them now, right? I think you could almost take an alt, just because this is one of those games where they could lose by 20, they could win by 20. There's such a high range of outcomes. So I do think it should be like a pick 'em. So I like the +2.5, but I lean over as well to answer that question. But yeah, both these teams are pretty inconsistent, especially without Caitlin Clark on the floor.
This looks like if I was like Chat GPT, make a spooky Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
What it do.
Right. I'm not a fan of anything that's going on here. I don't like these jerseys. I don't think they make Caitlin Clark look very good. I
mean, why'd they make Caitlin Clark like part of the spooky bit? Like,
right, exactly. There's the shadows. Like, what are we doing?
It's theming. You gotta make it all work together.
It's fine. Buckets, there is, I don't know if there's anything you saw in the chat relative to soccer, but Andrew Dietrich wants you to know that he has a tailor in Ohio that if you need a custom suit, he can maybe get it done. I don't think he's saying for free. He just happens to know a tailor.
No, for sure. Do you, like, if I go to Macy's or JCPenney or something, will I be able to find a suit that fits me just there, or do you have to get one like special made?
Well, you're a taller person, but they should have suits that fit you there.
Okay,
you're not like 6'11", so you should be okay.
Okay, dope, cool.
How tall are you, Buckets?
I'm 6'4".
Wow, no idea. You never know.
We need a Buckets and Sniper photo standing side by side at some point, since I'm 5'8", so he can just tower over me.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Sniper, last word here on a question. Ray Garcia says Angels first 5 money line. Also, do you like Blue Jays Tigers no run first inning? Nerfy.
Angels first 5 money line. Yeah. They could definitely, they seem kind of aggravated about some calls late in that game against the Mets. And then they've got Kikuchi on the mound. So that's a pitching matchup play. Yeah, I could see that. Blue Jays Tigers no run first inning. I could see the Tigers jumping on Eric Lauer in the first. So I don't want to do the latter.
All right. No ladder there. No Nerfy there. All right. Do we have any other questions? Hand up if I missed anything.
And I should point out, I meant the ladder, like the ladder thing in the question, not like we're laddering up something. I shouldn't have said.
Oh, yeah. That was
confusing. I shouldn't have done a homophone here when there's another word ladder that we could be using on a gambling show. My bad. I don't want to do the Nerfy.
John, let us know if you were, because sometimes the names don't register, especially the names in the chat. He says Buckets versus Mikey B in a one-on-one basketball. So it makes me think that John was at the Early Edge event 2.5 weeks ago at Yankee Stadium, because Mike Barner is really tall.
No,
is he a big dude?
I would like to second that. He is a very tall man.
Yes.
How tall is he?
He's got to be 6'5"-ish. 6'4", 6'5". I mean, he's tall.
Yeah, I would not have thought that just from seeing the window here.
Nicest. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't know. I'm 6'11", so people just they don't understand that.
Definitely can't tell that. Very deceptive.
All right. We should probably get out of here. Let's go to, did we do the home run plays? Because somebody was asking. We did do we did
I
the
just
home run
typed
plays.
in there. It was, I had Kurtz, the model head, Soderstrom, Tatis, Altuve. Yeah.
Awesome.
Right there.
Okay, so if you join us late, that's okay. Thanks for asking, and hit the like button on your way in or on your way out, but preferably on your way in. Let's take a look at the recap screen. We are going to remind you tomorrow, by the way, and again, this is pinned to my Twitter profile, of voting for the Early Edge for best male-hosted podcast. It's not in the sports category. It's like in the general category, which is actually kind of cool, up against like the Kelsey brothers and the Daily Show. Like, this would be really cool if we could advance to the final round. So we're gonna push that for you. A lot of people have already voted, but it's pinned to my profile. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. I've got a couple of picks for this afternoon. Sam Burns -130 over Wyndham Clark, and then we got a 3-ball Doug Gim +160. If you have +150 at your book, that's okay. I wouldn't play it any less than that, though, and I don't think you have to worry about that. Doug Gim +160 over Max McGreevy and Sam Ryder. All right, I'll give it a shot. Buckets, 3 picks. Banik Ostrava versus Legia Warszawa. Legia draw no bet at even money. Then we go to Eris Limassol versus Puskas Academia Falskut. I don't know. Eris over 1.5. Adis over 1.5. Team total -125. And then we go to Cherno Mor Varna versus Istanbul Bakshir. Both teams to score +110. I don't know. I might have gotten 2 out of 3 kind of okay there. Asia Wilson over 23.5 points at -114, says Mackenzie Brooks. And then our other WNBA pick is Sky. Team total under 73.5 at -102. Then we go to baseball. Tigers money line -124. And you say Kikuchi over 6.5 Ks at +110. We got a SportsLine pick courtesy of Bruce Marshall. And it was the Astros. Yeah, the Astros money line -123. All right. Big Cheesy says, good luck today, fam. That is good gesture. Coming off a losing day, a 2-4 day. We're going to try to turn that around and have good luck today. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Matt. Buckets, when did you change? I literally didn't see it.
Good move.
See, this is why, listen, all the podcast listeners, thank you. But like, you got to try to watch the YouTube show, because there's just so many things that happen that I missed.
You know the law. Subscribe.
Exactly. I mean, that's just a great way to close the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you the chat. Thank you, Ben, on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. Thanks to this crew. This is always a great crew. Every single day we try to deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, we rest our case.